People of faith, let's take another walk. I'm gonna I want to discuss about how simplistic or how easy one may think that it is to give their life to Jesus may be. We heard the we heard the word dimensions, and we even also heard the term being born again. We also heard of a heaven or paradise, and we also heard of a place of torment, which is deemed as hell. Some have stated that hell is can be on earth, and heaven can be on earth. The Bible states that heaven is above the earth. Jesus stated in the Bible that our thoughts are not his thoughts, our ways are not his ways. And that's the distance between heaven and earth. There's the recent discussion about Kanye West, even an ex porn star, you know, that's turned to a pastor. For the person who is considered maybe biased, or not, I won't say biased, but is in disbelief of either or both, have you, when was the last time that you ever had to walk away from something that it was just bringing you nothing but misery, agony, torment that you had to be a slave for, you had to grind for? When was the last time that you looked in the mirror and said that you loved yourself? I'm not saying look in the mirror and point the finger at yourself and see what's wrong with you. When was the last time that you looked in the mirror and said to yourself, I love you? Criticism, judgment, it's all fear based. It's no more or no less attached to fear than jealousy, hatred, envy, or pride, arrogance, fame, fortune, or celebrity, or, it's all considered fear related. It's fear based because it's going to cost you your soul. And what I mean by the soul is the mind, the will, the emotion, the intellect, and imagination. All those components was made to be in peace. And this is why God didn't give us the spirit of fear. The spirit of fear has torment inside of it. It's instant torment. You don't have to be spooked by anything. More likely, you're already deceived by fear. So when the person jumps out the closet and approach you, you're already in fear. Not because they startled you or that they frightened you or they caught you off guard. You are already in fear. So if we're already in fear, it's not hard to be afraid. So for a person who can easily, from their soul, paint an image or frame of thought or create an action to shred someone on a decision that they made about themselves, regardless if it's positive or negative. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and you told yourself you love yourself? We may say, I love me some me, I love me and forget everybody else and so forth, but that's not really love, is it? If you're saying forget everybody else, you're isolated. So where's the love? If love is so if it's that much inside of you, then you got enough to go around to everybody without fear. So love is like the bully to fear. Fear don't want no parts of love because actually it's separated from it. Fear has no life. It's in constant and consistent misery. It's in one dimension that goes backwards and forward. Can you imagine taking 5 steps forward just to turn around and take 5 steps back? Just to turn around and take 5 steps forward? Just turn around and take 5 steps back. This is what fear does. It goes up and down the earth, going up and down the earth, seeing who it could kill, steal, and destroy. That's what fear does. It goes forward, goes back, goes forward, goes back. And if anybody who's doing the same thing over and over and over and over, you are in the dimension of fear. This is your soul is in the dimension of torment, because the only thing you can do is go forward and go back. You make progression to go forward, but you hit a wall, so then you go back. You try to make the attempt to go forward again, you hit a wall. That wall is a soldier. We'll call it in the Bible, where the Bible referred to as a strong man or a stronghold or a principality or a power of darkness is standing there and is not allowing you to go forward. For you to go forward, you have to be stronger than that presence that's there, that's blocking you from going forward. Let's say if you're trying to save some money to purchase something, right? And say like the item is $500. Yeah, you could save up to the point you get $300. But here something falls apart. You could save up another $300. Another $200. Another $100. And now, but here something else happens. Every time you take a step forward, it's like you're taking 2 steps back. That strong man is right there. So when we see the ex-porn star that turns to a pastor, or we see Kanye West trying to give not trying, but he's claiming his devotion towards Christ, only thing he did was just confront that strong man, which was fear. What would you do if you had to let go? We're talking in the soul. A person you can try to buy things to satisfy your soul. You can try to escape from by getting drunk, getting high, partying, celebrating, all that good stuff. You could try to run from fear. But fear is not going to let you go any further. When was the last time you looked in the mirror, literally looked in the mirror, and told yourself, I love you? Like, for example, if you were to say your first name, so-and-so, I love you. And when you did it, when was the last time that you got an overflowing joy inside you from making just that statement? what Kanye and the young lady decided to do was to take that step that most of us is afraid to do. We are afraid to confront fear. The only way fear can be confronted is through love. We found millions of ways, or millions of thoughts, how to run from love or how to avoid love because we were in the spirit of fear. But what fear did was disguise itself to make the soul believe. It gave you heard the statement, the grass is green on the other side. It gave the illusion that if you stop going or you stop doing things out of love or stop going in the direction of love, your life will be better for you. It only gets worse. The more that you say, I'm not going to love, I'm not going to love, and not literally say it, but the action of not doing it, the more your life gets worse. If a person who ever gave solely was selfish about themselves and say their life was actually improving, they're lying to themselves because they are being deceived. The best time of any person's life is when it actually is in position to express, to offer love. This is the greatest moment of your life. Nothing can compare to actually giving love or receiving love. And the only way you can receive love if love is there. You can't receive love if fear is there because they're going to fight against each other. It's oil and water. So for the person, once again, they may have a problem with the direction of an individual giving up the dark side of them. Are you more upset that you can't be tormented by the darkness that they're displaying? You can't benefit from them? Just think about the porn star. The guy or the girl was benefiting off of her demise. They were benefiting off of her giving her body in such a way that it didn't bring her anything but pain. She got the money to pay the bills, but her peace of mind, you have to pop the pills, you have to do the drugs, you have to drink to escape for what you allowed to come inside your mind, which is fear. And that fear is only has one assignment: to kill, steal, and destroy the love from the soul. Fear has one assignment. It goes up and down the earth, seeing who it can kill, steal, and destroy. We have known fear for so long, we don't know how to be away from it. So this is why it's kind of like we would make the statement, I guess it's not meant to be. When we go so far and it doesn't work out for the good for us, that's just fear standing there, so like, you're not going to get past me. So the person would, instead of regrouping, getting submerged inside of love, just to face fear, what they would do, they would go back, and if they have the opportunity to get submerged in love, they don't go to confront that fear. They will go and confront, and not only say confront, they will go and give up the love to get fear, to be more acquainted with fear again. That love was made to conquer fear. It was made to be like an extortioner. Is that the word I want to use? Is that the word? That's the correct word, extortion? It was made to eradicate fear. It was made to shove fear off the earth. We can go back to that. Another video I did about what was the title? Finally the last days. There's 3 parts to it. And in one of the parts, it talks about how the origins, how fear came on the earth, how it all started, and all that. So if you want to go look at that one, you can, and that will fill in a lot of the blanks about how do we get from the start of it to where we are now, to the point where we are now. We don't want anything to do with love. So when a person is saying, I want to love myself, which means to give up the fame, the fortune, the money, the all that good stuff, I want to get rid of all that for my own happiness, for my own peace of mind. We would destroy them and say they're not real. If they're real or not, why do we care? Why do we care? They just so excited that they have to express what it's just no different than us. When we get something that we never had before, we want to tell it. That's all they're doing. And they have a larger scale or a larger stage to do it on, a larger platform to do it on. So therefore, a lot of people can say what they say about it or whatever. But what does it matter to the individual? For the person who is benefiting off of Kanye destroying himself, you upset because the source of fear that's inside of you can't get fed anymore. Kanye had a power a power that was unmatched for a lot of Christians. That's why a lot of so-called Christians disapprove of him. He had a power within him that was in the world that was trying to keep him attached to fear. But he was trying to break free. If anybody paid attention to him, he'd been trying to break free from this stronghold for quite some time. One of the a profound song that, in my opinion, Jesus Walks. They fought him for trying to release that. Now he's in debt into the world. I mean he's deep in darkness, talking about money, fame, fortune, all that, whatever. His ego, his arrogance is on top. You know what I'm saying? He's doing all that, but they're fighting him for not to release Jesus Walk. That lets you know how the kingdom of darkness works. It goes beyond the human race. It goes beyond that. We're talking about spiritual dimensions. The dark power that was inside of him wanted to keep him bound because he was getting closer and closer to a light. We call that deliverance. We call that facing the strong man. A lot of us is dealing with death in our family. So that fear wants to grip us. By us not being in tune with love, we don't understand how it works. And a lot of us have been holding on to the death of our loved ones for years, maybe decades. And the fear is causing the soul to be at a place. And my testimony is that I suffered a stroke from it. When my mother passed, my thought was, what am I going to do? My life literally was surrounded around her. I didn't go get the wife. I didn't go get the kids. I didn't leave to go to other states. My life was surrounded around my mother. So when she passed, or when she left the body, to say it that way, when she left the body, she's still present, regardless of how, if anybody understands how dimensions works. Well, anyway, I didn't know what I was going to do. So I took an invitation where the money, the clothes, and the women were. I didn't get into the drinking. I didn't get into the partying. I knew my limit, but I didn't get close to God, though. I was scratching to get close to him. I was trying to get close to him. But when you sell your soul to one thing, one choice, how it works like this. Fear is Satan, Satan is fear. Are they one and the same? Okay? So when Satan drops some keys to his kingdom, we pick them up, we inside instantly. We're in another dimension. So getting out of that dimension is not as easy as it is picking up those keys. Because once we picked up those keys, we didn't know what those keys were. It was there was like keys to a dungeon of darkness in the pit of hell, and it's only for the soul. The spirit of you, which we are, is the life of us. That's God Himself. That spirit was designed to be with us, so we always have love, power, and a sound mind. But now, if the soul, the mind, will, emotion, intellect, and imagination is not going in the direction of that, it's going in the direction of the opposite of that. It's going towards a dark dimension that's away from God. So you get a woman to say, you ain't gonna be able to run from me. So you give in. Now that one turns to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, to another. Now you in a place, or for one person, a drink. One drink can turn to another, to another. $1 can turn to another, to another. One house, one car. What? No matter. It's all a mirage. It's not real. It's designed to put the soul in torment. Torment is a way. It's fear-based. It's nothing but fear. You're talking about anxiety. You're talking about panic. You're talking about worry. You're talking about confusion. Of course, after all that, you're going to be delusional. And you're going to think you're better off. And you're going to give a fake smile. But you barely can stand up. So then you try to get progressive. You try to be optimistic. And you try to move forward. You try to do something, that's positive, whatever. But you bump that wall. That's that strong man right there. The strong man is not going to let you go past because you're already serving his order. The order that the strong man has is don't move. Don't let him go past you. Or don't let the person go past you. And since there's no love in your life because you have sold your soul, you have given up your love. You have taken your soul away from love. You've given up your true love, which is love, to serve this deception, this world that doesn't exist. For anybody who wanted to be famous, whatever, it's all a mirage. It's not real. Whenever you get like a celebrity who's there, say it's not real, pay attention. They're not trying to get there. They're not even at the bottom of it. They're at the top of it. And if they ever could get a loose from it, because once you in, you in. They're saying Kanye said it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't get you anything. Like there's a scripture in the Bible that summarize Kanye to a T. What does it gain you, or what does it benefit you to gain the whole world, but your soul can't enjoy it? You have all this stuff. But in his case, he got the money, he got the women, he got the fame, he's friends with Donald Trump, he's friends with people all that's high powered, allegedly, right? He's friends with all these people. He know all these people. He have all this, but his soul can't enjoy it. There's not really much of a atmosphere that you want to put your soul in. If you can, the very best that we can be offered on this earth, he was there, or the young lady was there, but they can't enjoy it though. It's like you're finally president, or you finally meet the standard where you wanted the goal that you wanted to be, and you can't, no matter how hard or whatever you do, you just can't enjoy it. What kind of life is that? That's misery. That's torment. He wanted out. She wanted out. So they did what they had to do. They looked in the mirror and they told themselves, I love you. The strong man is not there anymore. So now you can walk through that light. walk towards that light. I'm not here, like Kanye said, I'm not going to argue about Jesus' facial features, or I'm not interested of changing an atheist into a believer. You know, I promise you, I my life is my life, and everybody haven't experienced my life, and a person can easily say, and rightfully say, "Hey, what you went through, that's on you." Okay, when was the last time you looked in a mirror and you just said one, two, three, four words? Whatever your name is, I love you, and meant it. And when you said it, an explosion went off inside of you after you said it. Not just saying it like, you know how it's a saying to say, I love you, I love you, I love you, bro, or I love you, sis, or I love you, fam, or I love you. What? Come on. But when you actually can say it and an explosion goes off inside of you, like an excitement and a joy that you can't, that's when it's real. That's when it's real. Or in the person who's receiving that, an explosion goes off and it's been transferred from one to the other. That's when it's real. That's why a person could say, "You don't love me," because there's no transference. When you say "I love you," there should be an explosion of joy that goes off. It's like it's an unseen power. This is what the celebrities want. This is what people that serve in fear want. You After you're on the top, the only thing you could do is enslave. It's control, dictate, manipulate, strategize, or make strategic assignments to make people grovel, to make people beg, whatever. That's the only thing you can do, because you're stuck. You only can go forward, backwards, and forward. You can't go outside of that dimension. I'm talking for a person who's seeking power. The only thing, when you get to the top, the only thing you can do is be a slave master. It goes beyond ethnicity. It goes beyond race. It goes beyond religion. It goes beyond. The only thing you can do when you in the fear dimension is to enslave. That's the best it can get, which means you are at the very lowest in the kingdom of darkness because you're working for the slave master. So for a person to say that who's on top and they be like they wrong for how they treat people, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. You stay focused on love, and you will watch what. Matter of fact, if you were to pray for them, make a powerful, joyful prayer for them, it's like throwing hot coal on their head. Versus saying, "I wish they get, I hope they get, and I hope they die." Or you ain't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta do all that. That's a sin. That actually gives fuel to the fire that they're serving, so that they won't change, because who they're serving is the same person that you're serving by making that confession. You pray for them, literally, and if you were to have a heartfelt, joyous prayer for that individual, that you think is dogging people or mistreating people, watch what happens. See, what we do, what the enemy, since we in fear, that's why we want the worst to happen for somebody. We don't see what love does because we're inside fear. We're in that dimension. You only go forwards and backwards. So we only know forwards and backwards. How it looks, how it is. That's the only thing we know. But in love, there's up, down, left, right, diagonal, slanted, across. There's it's 4 dimensions, 5 dimensions. Love is unlimited. So when you pray, you have no idea what it's doing to that individual's soul. So when Kanye, and I won't say her name, but the ex porn star that turned to a pastor, they looked in the mirror and they told themselves that they loved themselves. That killed their suffering in their soul. They was at the top. They was at. We work hard, we grind to get the money that they basically saying we had it. We don't even want it. It's not like they was at the bottom and they was like a beggar or somebody like that, like they was homeless or something, saying like I want Jesus. I'm not trying to say there's nothing wrong with that, but they're at the top, and they saying I don't want it anymore. for the person that's at the bottom saying, I want what they have, look how deceived that you are. They at the top, and it said when they at the top, they're saying there has to be something better than this. That's why they gave it all up. They sacrificed. When was the last time you sacrificed something for the greater good? They were at the very top. And they said there has to be something more than this. All right, my people of faith. You are the blessed. Let's be the blessing. Let's keep walking.